Bonjour tout le monde. Bienvenue au Centre des sciences de l'Ontario. Je m'appelle Maurice Mitterrand. Je suis le directeur général du centre. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Ontario Science Centre. My name is Maurice Mitterrand. I'm the CEO and Chief Science Officer of the Ontario Science Centre. And this morning, as an agency of the Government of Ontario, we're honored to be the place for the Minister of Education, the Honourable Lisa Thompson, to make an important announcement. Before we continue, though, I would like to acknowledge that we are on the traditional territory of First Nations going back many generations, and I would like to recognize their contributions to what is today Ontario. Now, you've come to the Science Centre at a very special time. It's March break. In 2 hours, this place is going to be buzzing with families, with kids, having fun, but also learning. And by the time the March break is over, we will have welcomed about 50,000 people on our way to almost 1 million people that we welcome every year. It's also a special place for us, a special time for us, because 2019 is the 50th anniversary of the Ontario Science Centre. The province of Ontario had the foresight 50 years ago to create one of the first 2 fully interactive science centers in the world. And this is today more important than ever, because science, technology, and innovation are the lifeblood of the innovation economy, of the knowledge economy in which we live. And our best hope to solve the problems, the serious problems that we face as a society, is through science, technology, and innovation. So here at the Science Centre, we are very happy to have the largest education program, museums-based education, STEM education program in Canada. 170,000 kids come every year to these education programs. And we also are gathering for our 50th anniversary stories of people whose life has been touched by the Science Centre. And among them, my favorite so far, we're continuing to gather more, perhaps because of my background in astrophysics, is the story of Dr. Donna Strickland, the professor of Waterloo who just won the 2018 Nobel Prize in Physics, only the 3rd woman to do so. She says that she came with her family to the Ontario Science Centre when she was about 10 years old. Perhaps during March break that we're having today, she saw lasers for the first time. She fell in love with them, and that marked her path in life. So we are about inspiring the new generations to get involved with science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM education that is so important. And we have, like I said before, a number of programs to do just that, and we have also a great lineup for our 50th anniversary, but I know that you didn't get up this early on a Friday to listen to me. So without further ado, I'll welcome Minister Lisa Thompson, Ontario Minister of Education. Minister Thompson.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Petran as he goes back to the children's room. I have to tell you that this is a perfect location to celebrate our plan forward for education in Ontario. But before I dive into that plan, I'd be remiss if I didn't share with you that the Ontario Science Centre this year is celebrating its 50th anniversary. So congratulations, Dr. Petran, and to his entire team here at the Ontario Science Centre. I understand you're celebrating the entire year long, and I look forward to hearing all about it when you have your big celebration on September 26th. But ladies and gentlemen, we're here to talk about our path forward in terms of getting education right and working in Ontario. I'd like to thank everyone who's contributed and has been dedicated to making sure that for Ontario parents, Ontario students, and Ontario teachers, we get education back on track. Thank you, sincerely. Thousands of hours have gone into this initiative. This initiative, our plan, will modernize the classroom, will protect the future of our education system, and will ensure Ontario students acquire the skills they need to build successful lives, families, and businesses right here in Ontario. Now, we all know there's been a lot of discussion and debate about education over the last 9 months. I welcome good faith conversations and consultations with anyone who shows good faith in return. The future of education must belong to all of us. It must also include voices of rank-and-file teachers and other educators, members of Ontario's diverse cultures and faiths, historically marginalized communities, and rural and urban Ontario alike. But most of all, the future of Ontario's education must focus on our children and respect the wishes of their parents. They are the most important stakeholders of all. And that is why, shortly after we came into office, we did what the Liberals had been afraid to do, or perhaps they just didn't want to do. We threw the doors open to real, meaningful, public and parental input into our education system. And I have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the people of Ontario did not disappoint. We received input from over 72,000 students, parents, teachers, employers, and organizations. This consultation is the largest education of its kind in Ontario education history. We heard diverse opinions on issue after issue, but everyone who participated did so with a sincere commitment to make our education system better, and for that, I would like to say thank you as well. As you know, we've also consulted with our education partners in the sector. They were very clear. They told us what's not working and what we need to protect. We listened to mums and dads. They told us to make Ontario education more effective, efficient, and equitable. That's exactly what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen, and not a moment too soon. Today, the public consultation has closed, and now it's time to set Ontario's schools on a new sustainable path, one that respects parents and ensures that Ontario provides world-class public education, not only to students of today, but to the students of tomorrow. We need to be real. We know not everyone will agree with every single part of our plan. That was never going to be the case. But Premier Ford and our PC government have a mandate to govern and a mandate to lead. I did not come here today to rehash the campaign. I came here today to deliver an education plan that works for Ontario. But first, Ontario parents need to know why change is so desperately needed. We need real change because, frankly, the previous Liberal government got the big things wrong. But rest assured, our government has listened, and we are going to get it right. Our parents and our students deserve this. We are going to invest smarter. The Liberals poured, did you know? The Liberals poured $5 billion more into a variety of education schemes that really did not pan out well for our students. And now, too many Ontario students are failing to pass even the minimum requirements in standardized testing. The Liberals used our classrooms to conduct social experiments on our children by implementing failed ideologies like discovery math. And as a result, math scores have declined. And they also implemented a controversial health and physical education curriculum without adequately consulting parents. This was wrong. And as a result, public trust has deteriorated. There can be no doubt our students are failing their tests because the Liberals have failed our students. The Liberals also pursued education ideology that fundamentally was elitist. They fixated on university education while ignoring colleges and essentially looking down on skilled trades. That's unacceptable in this day and age. And as we all know, too many university grads have either gone back to college or they struggle to get jobs. Meanwhile, high-skilled trades jobs remain stigmatized and unfilled. The test for a 21st century education system is this: are students leaving school with the skills they need to build good lives, families, and careers right here in Ontario? And are we doing it in a way that is fiscally responsible and respectful of parents? The answer up until now has been no, an absolute clear no. But today, that changes. The biggest change we have made to date in education is very straightforward. We recognize parents are the primary educators of their children. But we recognize that parents and professional educators must be a team. The biggest factor in student success is the quality of their educator in the classroom. And I've said it from day one, we have some of the best talent right here in Ontario. Our education system is recognized around the world. But our teachers are held back by outdated hiring practices. I want to see an education system that is accountable, but most importantly, recognizes teachers' success. But unfortunately, the system we inherited only values time served. That, ladies and gentlemen, is unfair. Energetic young teachers with new ideas are struggling to enter the profession, and a teacher's ability to reach, motivate, and educate the students in front of them counts for almost nothing at all. You know, their ability, their expertise they bring into that classroom, pretty much to date, under the past Liberal government, has accounted for nothing at all. And that is unfair as well. There's a better way forward for teachers, ladies and gentlemen. When principals meet talented teachers, they should be able to hire them. Hiring should not be only based on seniority, but on talent and expertise. Math teachers should teach math. French teachers should teach French. Our government believes we always need to get the right talent in the right classrooms. You know, a few moments ago, I laid out our test for the education system. Are students leaving school with the skills they need to build good lives, successful careers right here in Ontario? And are we doing it in a fiscally responsible manner that respects parents? To pass that test, we need to see major changes in our curriculum. Sadly, today's curriculum does not prepare students for their future. And we heard it loud and clear, absolutely loud and clear, from parents and employers and even students. We have inherited an education system where too many of our kids can't even do basic math. They can't handle their personal finances, and they don't have transferable skills they need to handle pressure or even manage an interview process. This needs to change. I'm proud to announce our government will implement a new math strategy over the next 4 years. Under our math plan, we're getting back to the basics, less ideology and more skills. Our strategy will emphasize financial literacy by finally including it in mandatory curriculum in high school. Our plan will emphasize basic arithmetic and multiplication. Our plan will promote science, technology, engineering, and math, the STEM disciplines. These are the building blocks of 21st century skills. By going back to the basics, we will give students a more solid foundation for more advanced work. We'll encourage students to explore career paths they've never considered in industries like agri-food, coding, and trades, skilled trades. We'll work with guidance counselors to broaden those career horizons for our students across Ontario. Students deserve to have a solid foundation on which to build their career path and realize their goals. As we equip our students for success, we know they need more than just professional skills. We've heard this loud and clear. They need other skills as well. They need to know how to respect one another and themselves. They need to know how to use technology safely. And quite frankly, they need to know what healthy relationships look like. That is what our new age-appropriate health and physical education curriculum will do. Ladies and gentlemen, we've listened to parents about health and physical education. Mom and dad are the experts on their children, so we asked for their advice. They told us that they want a robust health and physical education curriculum. We heard from parents, and they told us some concepts were being taught way too early. So we're going to raise the age on some concepts. But I assure you here today, we are going to keep them all in the curriculum. And we're going to respect mom and dad by providing an opt-out so parents can be the ultimate decision makers on their kids' health education. Most importantly, parents told us they want more emphasis on safety. We're improving the health and physical education curriculum, ladies and gentlemen. From online threats to concussions to bullying, there's much to cover. And I'm very proud to announce that Ontario's new health and physical education curriculum will have a core focus on protecting students, physically, socially, and emotionally. We're going to help students respect themselves, respect one another, respect their relationships, and respect the dangers of constant internet and social media use. As you heard earlier this week, I will also be implementing a provincial ban on cell phones in our classrooms for the next school year. Children need focused time to learn. And quite frankly, teachers deserve focused time to teach. As we implement this cell phone ban, we'll also respect teachers' discretion. We will allow teachers to make exceptions for teaching purposes according to their professional judgment. And we recognize some school boards employ initiatives that are already working. But letting students use personal cell phones without restrictions can and have led to privacy issues, cheating, and most of all, distractions. That is the wrong way to bring technology into the classroom. We need to embrace technology for all the good that it enables, because it does have a key role to play. For instance, ladies and gentlemen, I am taking the Ministry of Education out of the publishing business. To this day, when a curriculum change is made, it can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to print and distribute new curriculum documents. No more. This fall, we will start to phase in a new digital curriculum platform, available anytime, anywhere, and on any device. This platform will provide teachers, students, and parents full curriculum access and up-to-the-minute changes. For technology to be good, it also has to be good for all. Right now, there's so much inequity across the regions and school boards in our province. Last December, the Auditor General confirmed that some school boards have stacks of unopened whiteboards in their closets. And we know other school boards just don't have enough computers. And we've also heard from teachers and parents that there is not enough tech support to properly install and support newer technologies. We will address this inequity, and we will ensure every school has access to reliable, fast, and affordable internet with our government's new broadband strategy. To achieve this and so much more, we are going to be reforming the Education Quality and Accountability Office, known as EQAO. We're going to give it a stronger, broader mandate. Last month, we announced the first full-time chair of the EQAO, Dr. Cameron Montgomery. We will work with Dr. Montgomery to modernize this agency. We will update what it evaluates and how it evaluates the success of our education program. We know that EQAO standardized tests are unpopular with parents, students, and teachers throughout this province, and there's good reasons for that. But rest assured, we will be addressing them. I look forward to what EQAO can do for our education system with a fresh focus and energy. We believe that no matter where students live or what school they attend, they deserve excellence and equality from our system. Under our PC government, they're going to get both. Now, I'm going to take a little drink here. We need to talk about class sizes. All of us in this room are well aware that there's been a lot of discussion about what's going to happen with class sizes. We've heard from parents, we've heard from teachers, and we've heard from our labor partners. Everyone has assumed we would be removing caps on class sizes. I would like to be perfectly clear. This is absolutely untrue. For example, one thing we heard is a campaign from the Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario. They mobilized their members to call on our government to protect low class sizes from kindergarten to grade 3. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I agree with ETFO on that point. But now, let me tell you what our government is really proposing on class sizes. From kindergarten to grade 3, we propose no changes to class sizes. And in grades 4 to 8, an average increase of just one more student in each classroom. Our older and more mature students in high school would see the most change, with class sizes increasing to 28. This proposal is evidence-based, and it's also important to note Ontario at this time has an extremely low teacher-to-pupil ratio in the high school system. While better preparing our high school students for post-secondary classes and employment, we're going to align our high school class sizes with other jurisdictions. We will enhance the learning environment for our students and our teachers. For instance, this initiative will take the pressure off of some of our schools to reduce the number of students who are forced to use portables or sit in split classes. Our end goal is clear. We want students to be better prepared and students to be protected. But I also want to make clear today that we're protecting teachers too. Our planned changes to class sizes will happen gradually over 4 years. And not one teacher, not one, will lose their jobs because of our class size strategy. None. We are focused on improving curriculum, modernizing learning, and making sure the right talent is in each classroom. Everything we do from this day forward will be responsible, and measured. This plan is what the people want and what they need. And we know this because we've listened. We've listened to tens of thousands of people, and I commit to you today, we will continue to listen. So, what happens next? We will move forward with the changes we announced today, but changes of this magnitude take time. But we are committed. We're committed to working with our sector partners, educators, and parents to get it right. The experience our partners bring to the table is absolutely invaluable, and we look forward to working with them to make these changes. If they have other ideas that might work or that can make our plan better, we want to hear about them. I'm sincere about that. If the teachers' unions or anybody else is prepared to work with us in good faith, we will be here to partner with them. Today marks the day when we move forward with a plan for education that works in Ontario. But there's still much more to do. We will continue to look for better ways to improve student learning. We will continue to adapt curriculum to address the needs of the modern world. We will continue to work with school boards to find ways we can reduce spending. And we will continue to take responsibility for every dollar spent, as well as the return on the investment of that dollar spent. Because ultimately, the manner in which we're going to be measured is student resiliency and success. Our government for the people is committed to education that works for Ontario, our people, our economy, and our families. Together, we will build on a system that creates and attracts the best talent, that builds careers, promotes well-being, and leaves every student prepared for their future. Thank you very much for being here, and we certainly would be open to some questions at this time.
One question, one follow-up? Okay. Good morning, Minister. Brian Lilly, Toronto Sun. On class sizes, you mentioned split classes are a problem, portables are a problem, but you said no changes. So does the hard cap stay in place? Because teachers have complained about these problems being created by hard caps of the split classes, of the portables. Principals have, parents have. Is there any flexibility so that you don't have a new class created because there's 2 extra students in a grade 2 class?
Yes, certainly. What we're looking at is an average increase of 6 students up to 28 students. And so in
at elementary or
in high school, specifically.
Yeah, no, I'm asking about elementary.
Okay. In elementary, what we're looking at, no change in class sizes from kindergarten to grade 3, and from grade 4 to 8, we're looking at an increase of just 1 more student per class. And certainly we need to take a look at ensuring that our school boards are providing our teachers and our students with best learning environments possible. So we'll be working with them on the path forward to make sure that we do have the best learning environments possible.
On sex ed, your changes are going to make some parents happy, but the activists on either side are going to be angry. So how do you address the parents and the activists?
My response to that, and my comment to every Ontarian, is that we've listened loud and clear. We had over 72,000 parents, teachers, students, grandparents, businesses, and organizations contribute to this consultation, and we heard them loud and clear. They want a robust health and physical education curriculum that reflects today and the modern world as we move forward. And because of that, we are very confident in the manner in which we've adjusted our curriculum. As I said, the biggest concerns that we heard was the age appropriateness of the material, but we've addressed that, and we're moving forward, and I have confidence that while parents can always have the option to opt their children out of a particular piece of the curriculum, that they too will embrace what we're introducing, because there's so many more new concepts that we've introduced through this curriculum, and we've improved on what was last taught. And I look forward to seeing the results of this robust curriculum.
I'm wondering about the change in class size in secondary schools. What impact will that have on the availability of specialized classes like dance or something like that, and also on smaller rural high schools?
Well, again, the class sizes are up to 28, and so that's important to recognize. And we are going to be working with our rural school boards as well as school boards that offer the different type of classes. But again, we want to make sure that the classes being offered across this province are meeting the needs of our students. We're going to be focusing on our STEM subjects, and we're going to be focusing on the fundamentals that will absolutely guarantee our students will be well prepared for the jobs of today and tomorrow.
And how can you guarantee that there will be no job losses? Are you relying on attrition?
Again, our strategy will not see one teacher lose their job. And yes, we'll be working with school boards to address the number of people that retire on an annual basis, but it's too early to tell at this time, but certainly we'll be working with school boards.
Hi, Minister. How much money will your department save with the change in the class averages, both for grades 9 to 12 and also in the change in funding for the intermediary grades?
Okay, so overall, my plan today represents less than 1% of our total budget.
So what does that mean? What's the dollar figure, Minister?
Well, we have a budget of $25 billion, and what we announced today represents less than 1% of that.
And so your plan also says that it will be phased in, the changes in class size will be phased in over an unknown period of years. How many years are you expecting this to take?
Well, actually, we're looking at phasing in the class sizes over the next 4 years.
Hi, good morning, Minister. I'm curious about the opt-out for the sex ed program. So at what grade can parents start opting out their children? And is there any topic that will be mandatory for their kids to be in the classroom?
Okay, very good. So I appreciate that question very much. And actually, we need to respect our parents and as the primary educators of their children. And so if there's something happening in grade 1 or grade 2 a parent isn't comfortable with, they need to work with their teacher and their principal on the opt-out option that they have, that we've presented through this plan. And in terms of...
Mandatory.
Mandatory, thank you very much, Colin. What we're looking at is making sure that our students are mature and ready for some of the more robust discussions that have to happen reflecting today's modern society. And you've got the background with you, and you'll see where some aspects will be mandatory. But I can tell you that we have taken a very strong position in making sure our young people are prepared, and we're making some things mandatory to talk about as early as grade 2. And for instance, consent, for young people to know boundaries and to be secure in their personal space.
Okay, and in terms of giving parents the opportunity to teach their children some of these materials at home, how does the ministry guarantee that, let's say by grade 8, the parents have taught their children all of the topics that they would have learned had they been in the classroom for those particular topics?
Well, again, we are just embarking on our plan, and there's much work to be done, but I can tell you that we're going to be monitoring our plans. Again, this is going to be measured, and we're going to be accountable, and because we respect parents so much, they need to be part of the solution, and they too need to be accountable.
You have asked school boards to defer filling vacancies for retirements and other vacancies. Is that going to be lifted as of today? And how will the small classroom sizes affect hiring practices?
Well, I want to be clear. Again, the plan that we've introduced today will not see one teacher lose their job. And yes, regarding retirements, it's too early to tell. We'll be working with our school boards in that regard. But what I can tell you is when it comes to subject areas like math, French, science, technology, as well as skilled trades, we're going to ensure every position for those teachables are always filled.
Hi, Minister. I have a question about the gender identity piece. It's been moved to grade 8. Are students just going to learn the concept of gender identity, or will they learn about specific identities like transgender and two-spirit?
Again, we are just working on the curriculum. We're defining it at this time, and we'll be testing it in the spring. And when it's finalized, we certainly will come back and identify that for you.
Will parents be able to opt out of that lesson?
Well, actually, we've deemed it mandatory to be taught in the second half of grade 8.
Okay, guys, last question.
Good morning, Minister. I'm wondering if you can provide an update for us on full-day kindergarten. You've previously mentioned that you're committed to full-day learning. What might that look like?
Okay. What will it look like? It'll look like what our full-day kindergarten students will be entering and going back to on Monday. I personally truly believe in full-day kindergarten and what it offers our 4- and 5-year-olds, and I know parents do as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, just to conclude, I want to recognize and thank my parliamentary assistants. Excuse me, Colin. Yeah, just a moment. I actually was just acknowledging and recognizing my parliamentary assistant, Sam Osterhoff. He has done a marvelous job working as my PA, and I thank him for his support today and everything that you've contributed in this plan to make sure Ontario education works for us all. Thank you very much.